Namaste, welcome, beautiful souls. I'm here at a special time today to do a reading for the collective for the full moon in Capricorn. I also want to honor Guru Purnima today. This is a very special full moon where we honor the energy of teachers. And these teachers may come in many forms, those who guide and support our journeys. This is a time to reflect on the wisdom that they have shared, the energy that they have given. And I feel that the sanctuary that teachers create, the safe space that teachers create for each and every one of us in different times, different aspects of our lives is such a special thing. I think of some of the places I have gathered: university classrooms, yoga ashrams, sacred spaces in nature, guided by shamans and professors and people from all walks of life. I also want to honor the guru who gave me my name, Sadhana, and that has been an incredible journey. And that just feels like there's no words to express the unfolding that has happened because of some of the experiences that I have had and the choices that I have made. So full moon blessings to teachers everywhere, to those who guide, mentor, and support each and every one of us. This full moon is in Capricorn, and the sun and the moon have this conversation, Cancer and Capricorn. And these creatures that represent the zodiacs, the crab and the sea goat, are such an interesting combination of mythological beast and sea creature. And I hope that the metaphor of these animals will come up in the readings as well today too. There is a lot that's going on astrologically, and the gentleness that is required by each of us at this time is really something. So I want to do a reading for the collective now and just be mindful of all that is happening politically and energetically through in the cosmos, and be so one of the things about full moon energy is that there is this simultaneous blessing of both a richness of celebration and honoring, and then through that honoring there's this brilliant opportunity to let go. And every full moon, regardless of the themes, regardless of what's going on, that's definitely part of my practice, is to let go, to very specifically let go of something, a pattern, an expectation, something that causes a rigidity within me that really is not serving. So this is one of the gifts of the full moon, and I hope you can all find something to release at this time. I'm going to use Tarot of Echoes, and if you have a request for another deck, please let me know. I do have a lot of decks on my table, and happy to reach for one if it's close at hand. I am in a different room. My tarot library is not here, but I probably have about 30 decks at hand. As I was preparing to come on today, I was thinking about how I wanted to do the reading for the collective, and I'm going to do a 6-card reading. I'm going to do the first part of the first operation and locate the sun and the moon card. Do I want to do that? No, I think I'm going to work with the High Priestess and work from there. Just kind of let this flow, do this naturally. So in honoring this full moon in Capricorn and the sun in Cancer, how can we learn to, let's just say over the next few days, the next week, let's keep this very specific. What is the best advice for navigating the challenges, helping us to release what needs to be released, trusting our inner wisdom. All right, so good. We are on camera. So why the High Priestess? Is she going to be at home in the water pile? Fire, water, air, earth. Let's see if she's here. And then we'll build the reading around the High Priestess, and I'll speak to, wow, there's a lot of wands. Yeah, she's here. So she's at home in the water pile, which I think it's a good thing. It tells us that she's in her optimal energy. If you're not familiar with this method of cutting cards and the process of doing a first operation, I've done lots of videos on this and teach this in courses as well too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Top of the pile is the moon card. Ooh, that's kind of auspicious. So the moon and the High Priestess are both in the water pile. Today's reading is one that needs to flow. It is one that is tapping into the energy, a life force energy of that helps to move things through our body. And I think of all of the waters in the body and how important it is to keep all of these fluids healthy. Okay, so she's here. She's a few cards up from the bottom, and the Eight of Wands, the Sag card, is on one side of her, and we have Justice on the other side. So that's really interesting to comment on that. We'll get to that. I'm going to lay out a 9 card, and then see if I need to do anything else. Okay. So let's start at the center of this reading. This is a reading for the collective, focusing on the energy of this full moon. The Chariot is here. All right, so the Chariot is down at the root of the reading, below the High Priestess. The Chariot is the card for Cancer. The High Priestess, chosen as the significator, is the planetary card that is associated with Cancer season. And above this is the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is here. Justice is here. And I want to show you something from the other day. So when I did I don't think this was in the Monday Marseille readings. When did I do this? Not so long ago. This is a tarot deck called the Talisman Tarot. And the first card that was pulled was the Five of Swords. And I'm really intrigued here because the Five of Swords is here again, as is Justice. The Hierophant, the Pope, is not here. So these are really significant cards in this story at this time to focus on. And when I think of Justice in terms of the letting go aspect, when I think about what's going on here with the Eight of Wands, this is such a clever Eight of Wands. So 8, 9, 10 of Wands are Sagittarius cards, spiritual warrior kind of energy. Knight of Wands, things are moving quickly. This is the mutable fire sign. We have the Ace of Wands beneath that. We have the Eight of Swords. So we have 2 eights. We have 3 eights. We have another 8 up here in the Eight of Pentacles. So there's 3 eights in this reading. I might add up all the numbers and see what we get here. Eights. Powerful cards, instigators of change. And yet there's something else here with these 3 eights. And the eights belong to the Sephira of Hod. This is the planet of Mercury, and this is the place, one of the places where I could say that the guru is present in that journey from intellectual understanding to wisdom. There is a beautiful opportunity with these eights to really shift into a comfort level of understanding. Now, these 3 eights and justice surround the high priestess. And we have this really challenging 5 of swords here. It's like there's an important decision to be made. When I was speaking to this card earlier in the week, I was looking at this in terms of this central sword, and it just kept popping off the page. There's 2 here and 2 here, and these are balanced and harmonious, and they're creating, it's like they're creating an opportunity for us to find this truth, to state this truth. And I'm quite moved that the Cancer card is actually here and showing up in the reading, in that it feels, when I'm doing readings for Cancer season, I'm always aware of gentle healing with family issues, mother wounds, and so forth. And all of this is showing up very significantly. Okay, so long preamble. Hi, Helen. Welcome. All right, so let's go down to the bottom. So what is at the root of all of this? And, what are we sitting upon? The Chariot on one side is the Ace of Wands, and the other side is the Knight of Cups. Well, Pisces is featuring significantly astrologically right now as well, too. Do we have any other court cards? No. So this is the only court card. This is one that invites us into the waters, I'd say there's a powerful connection between the Knight of Cups and the High Priestess. The one that is asking us, what is it we feel, and what is it we want to heal, and how do we want to move and shift energetically, emotionally, energy in motion. The Ace of Wands is like this little gift sitting here in the bottom right, both in the column of kind of ahead, but also supporting energy. We need to light the candle. And I shared with some of you some fire ceremony practices that I have done, and how when we light candles and when we sit in circle, especially at full moons and times like this, it's really important to have something to put into the fire, to release and to let go, so that there's space, right? Space for this new change to happen. This Ace of Wands sits under 2 eights, 8 of Wands and 8 of Swords. And we all know what happens when air and fire get together. Things become, they can be quite volatile. They move really quickly. They can be playful. So I would say that this change, this transition that each of us are moving through is likely to happen quite quickly, and maybe even uncomfortably so, faster than we want it to. Over on the left side, I've got the 8 of Pentacles and Justice, which is an 11 in this deck, and this Knight of Cups. Justice as a karma card with the High Priestess and the Eight of Wands says to me that you know exactly what this thing is that is you're ready to see it another way. You're ready to let go of. Justice is making this gesture of she's about to remove her hood. She is unveiling. She is revealing. And in this deck, there is no sword. She is the sword. It's like the sword is the mind. The sword is the truth. And like I was saying, these 3-8 cards are really important here because this is the Sephira of the mind, the Sephira of intelligence, the Sephira of Mercury. And if I look at my moon journal, Mercury is going retrograde when very soon. And this can all be preparing us for deeper thought, deeper I thought it was next week. There we go, Mercury retrograde. So a week after the full moon, the Mercury is going retrograde. And then Saturn will be going retrograde very soon as well, too. So I feel like this reflective energy is really important at this time. So 2 things with these 8s. One is that I feel that the honoring of all that we have learned and all that we know and this idea of intelligence is important, that we need to think things through. I feel that she's facing one way. The hourglass is falling the other way. This is in the center with the High Priestess. We see this vision in the cauldron, and there is a strength that is required to let this go. But we know that karmically it is, it's really important for where we are at this time. Overhead, so I want to talk about this 5 of Swords. It's really, if I put these 2 cards together, I want to say Anna Torian is a Harry Potter fan. And yes, Helen, I'll do a reading for you right away after this. It almost looks like this is a Dementor. And this is the Pensieve, Dumbledore's Pensieve. Of course it's not, but just looks that way. Deep, deep in thought. And this looks like a kind of creepy hand, but I wonder if indeed that this figure, this looks like the Fisher King as well too, is praying, excuse me, for support in releasing all of that responsibility. This truth that you have to share, this responsibility that you hold, needs to be let go. It's almost like this is Dumbledore taking that idea, that pain, that memory, that expectation, and the High Priestess is going to put it into the Pensieve for you so that you can go forward and deal with things. There's a lot that's going on here. In summary, for now, let's just say that due consideration is absolutely necessary. I feel that what we are moving through is bigger than we can understand at this time. And the release, the ceremonial release, the full moon time and the opportunity for intentional ceremonial release of something is only going to support this. In this Chariot card, This figure tows two dragons, working really hard, almost walking against the wind. Those dragons need to be released. They need to be let go. They want to fly on their own. There's no need for them to be tethered like this. So untether. Untether your dragons. Use this time to let go and know that you are certainly clever enough to figure this all out. And if you're feeling any anxiety around all of this impending change, do what you need to do to take good care of yourself in moving through it. Sometimes overwhelming change is, we need to sleep more, eat well, all those things. Okay, so blessings to each and every one of you as you journey through the energy of this full moon in Capricorn. All right, so I'm going to turn to Helen and shuffle the cards again. And it's Helen's birthday. Next week. Okay, so third decan of Cancer. I said I was going to add all that up. Maybe I'll do that later. I'll watch the replay and add up all the numbers from the reading to get its essence. This is a reading for Helen's birthday next week. Taking a deep breath and holding space for her as she prepares for this next journey around the sun, sending you light and love and all the support that you need at this time. As always, I ask this message be in the highest for the greatest good, and that no harm be done. So be it. Helen, this card was the just to the side of the 9-card reading that I did. It was sitting over here on the table. So this reading is definitely an important part of everything that I've already said. Now, in this very beautiful 6 of Cups card, we see the flow of water and kind of a poignant stare here. Maybe this knight has found this childhood toy, and this is stirring up a lot of emotion for them. It feels like it's time this sailboat is ready to sail away. And sometimes when we're working in the energy of the full moon and we have challenges with letting things go, it can be really useful to find an object to physically release, donate, burn, bury, all of that. So we'll see I might pull some more cards. But so we've got 6 of Cups, Ace of Cups, and King of Pentacles. Feels very tender. Very tender. And if I put the cards down in the order that they're pulled, let me zoom in for you so you can see the artwork. I feel that this Ace of Cups is like these 2 cards together are all about release, making space for the next thing, making space for a new stage. And it's almost as if these two cards are in a dance with each other. And there's a puddle at the heart space, a single water droplet falling in that puddle. I love the way the water is being released here. This is an incredible painting. Tenderness in this face as well, too, in all of these faces. For your birthday, for making space for the year ahead. Is there something that you have been attached to that in releasing it, and I can feel in my throat, I can feel in my heart space a lot of tension. Maybe there's something that's already come to mind for you. But in passing that on, it will begin to crack something open that at this time you cannot see, you don't know about that. But this letting go is about creating a really important opening for you. And what it creates is a strength. It allows you to step forward and to be in charge of something that, so without letting this go, you wouldn't be able to step forward in the way that you are needed at this time. It feels that the King of Pentacles, as a card for the year ahead, says you have great work to do. But it is important to come into this great work unencumbered. It doesn't mean that we won't remember and we don't have photographs, memories to look back on. But in order to feel this strength and to come forward and to step into this, there's a shedding of sorts that needs to happen. When I think about the King of Pentacles potentially as the 78th card in the tarot, the King, because we can order the cards in slightly different ways, but when I think of the King of Pentacles in that regard, they're so prepared for new beginnings and opportunities and leading the parade, opening the door, stepping up and taking charge. As the master, the leader of the fourth suit, they carry so much accumulated knowledge, experience, wisdom. They can do anything. So I would say that I would want to focus for the duration of Cancer season, specifically on the letting go aspect, so that you can step into this role. I see you've made a comment, so let's see what you've said here. This is the card that comes up at winter solstice. Often illustrated as a lemniscate, big card of change. So we have like the final card of Pentacles and the beginning of Pentacles. So there's certainly a new door, a new opportunity awaiting you this year. And he feels so comfortable in taking this on. So don't, if there is something that you are asked to do, don't be overwhelmed by that request. I feel like you will be completely capable of taking this on. Okay? All right. So bright, bright blessings to all of you. And I hope that you can digest something from the collective reading. There's definitely a calling here to be thoughtful and reflective. Okay? And I will see some of you on Saturday. I'll be going live for my usual discussion. And until that time, take good care. Namaste.